Members of the state's DEM NPL visited our studio for a political roundtable discussion. KX News' Adrian Oglesby facilitated the discussion and covered several topics. Tonight, we'll focus on the challenges facing the oil and gas industry in the state and inflation that's affecting many of our communities.
A political roundtable kicking off with the North Dakota Democratic NPL Party, circling a variety of topics in no specific order. In the seats were Executive Director of the DEM NPL, Cheryl Biller, and Treasurer Patrick Hart. We will start this series off with the issue hitting the pockets of nearly every person with a driver's license in our nation. Gas is around $4.20 at just about every local pump. The question has been, what's causing this? Some say crude oil, but Ron Ness and Doug Burgum say otherwise. Their fingers point to the Biden administration and the quote-unquote red tape. But DEM NPL leaders say that's not it.
I wouldn't say that's necessarily all true. When I look at the gas prices, I really see the war in Ukraine and the sanctions on Russia shutting off a major supplier in the oil trade, affecting those prices. The other thing you have to take into consideration too is that as gas prices go up and oil prices go up, we have a major economic player out in the Bakken, and we actually helps North Dakota economy. So, it hurts us a little bit in the pocketbook, but I think statewide it really helps us out.
But gas prices aren't the only things rising in cost. Biller says there are so many other issues fueling the rise in inflation.
With regard to inflation, that all occurred post or as a result of the ongoing wars in Afghanistan and the housing crisis that has been contributed to by the Republican administration.
She says interest rates needed to go up
in order to keep inflation from going up, and the Biden administration has actually done a fantastic job of leveling that off and keeping us from going into a recession. There was no economist who thought that we were going to get out of the previous economic challenging times without a recession, and yet we have, based on what the Biden administration has done.
However, affordable health care is a big concern for Democrats, and it seems health care costs are down right now, but prices everywhere else are rising.
Health care is my number one issue when it comes to politics because, as a parent of 2 children and a wife, as a small business owner, health care's been a tough thing to find. And, when I look at my interactions with the insurance companies, with the hospitals, healthcare does need to be reformed, and I think over the past 10 or 12 years, Obamacare has helped that. Right now, we're actually in open enrollment, and it's never been easier to find a plan that works for you on the healthcare exchange.
For KX News, I'm Adrian Oglesby.
After this roundtable with the DEM NPL, our state's ND GOP will take seats next with Adrian.